Hi, welcome to my channel, Warbow KTB Archery. This week I've got the JeilGung JiG, £40, and I thought it's probably easier to try and move into the lower anchor with a lower poundage bow, and I'm even struggling to get these knocks on this string. This string's not particularly thick, but even these knocks are struggle here. So these are 33-inch arrows. This bow is good for 33-inch draw, maybe a bit more, 34, 35 inches. So I thought, let's try and see whether I can get to a low anchor Korean style, maybe inclining a bit as well, because that seemed to work quite well. So it gives me that kind of up look, but facing down. So let's see how this goes. The target is quite low, so it's lower than my height, so I need to be aiming to the ground, which then makes my elbow want to rise up again. So let's see if I can do the low anchor. That's going a bit that's going a bit okay, except for the arrow's going a bit high, so I need to aim a bit lower than that. I wasn't aiming, I was just trying to see how it feels. So let's try again. That's a bit on the better height. It went a bit sideways. Let's see, so I want to be about there, under my chin. Let's try a bit of leaning. And again. That flew quite nicely. Totally straight. Exactly where I was aiming. Let's try and take it a bit lower. This jail is now almost 3 years old, and it's also 3 years since I repaired it. Don't know if you've seen my other videos on the jail, but the limb up here broke, split in half, and you could even I could stick my hand through it. It was that big of a gap. But with a bit of epoxy and a couple of clamps, the bow has been as good as new. Bit worse for wear, but performance-wise, it's been good. Okay, so that's the 33-inch ones. Let's try the 32-inch. They're going dead straight. I've had a bit of love-hate relationship with this bow, because sometimes it feels inaccurate, imprecise, and other times it just feels really good, like today. And I think that this bow doesn't forgive mistakes, but if you commit to it fully, I think it pays off. So, right, going to review footage and then do a bit more shooting. Okay, so that went quite well. the jail is has been quite nice. I mean, it's only £40, but it's I'm just going to take a measurement just to see how far it is actually, and I'll do it with the 33-inch arrow because that's what I've been shooting. So let's see what kind of power that has at full draw. So it's coming out at 66, 67 pounds at 33 inches, which is more or less where it should be. I think I measured it and it was about 58 to 60 pounds at 32 inches. So that extra inch pushes us up a bit more. Some people complain that the jails have got a lot of stacking. I don't feel the stacking. It just feels, it's fine. It just pull, and then it kind of stops. That's my personal opinion. So it's always been good to me. If anything, it felt a bit kind of wobbly, which it isn't. It is, this bow is, quite stiff. There's very little give here. It's the brace height on the lower limb. Actually, is it even? Yeah, actually, it looks pretty even, which is not a good thing for a KTB. So maybe this is on the way out. But this limb is losing a bit of power. Or maybe the repair made the top limb more. But yeah, no, it's looking about the same. Brace height is just over about 6 inches, a fist mill. There is, yeah, it's about the same, so that's a bit concerning. But anyway, let's try a bit more. I do have a spare one, if anything should happen, and that's the thing with this bow. Because I did the repair, I never thought it would last very long, and I was always afraid it might just go snap one day. So I've never really put a proper jumpy on it. I just wrapped it with a bit of sports tape and replaced it a couple of times. It's looking rough, but it's actually been, really, really good. So, and I think the Boya is soon to retire if he hasn't yet already. And I don't know. I think they're trying to sell off all their stock, but I don't know whether they are still making any bows. He used to make bows up to about £90, but I don't think that's something that they do anymore, which is a shame. So anyway, let's try again. Low anchor. This time I'm going to try and stop the wobbling because I want to get to here, so I want to feel that feeling to there. So, and then stop the wobbling, because I saw in the other videos I was, I'd start going up and down. So let's try. Okay, Gorgon. Let's try again. These arrows are probably a bit too heavy for this bow, but that's not a bad thing. Say 2 inches. So gonna reset and review. So feeling quite happy with those results. It seems to be embedding. I've noticed that every shot is different, so that's something I need to work on. Just have a consistent shot cycle. I'm doing bankaji on kaji. You know, my other hand's like doing all sorts of things. Bow hands doing all different things as well, and that's where I think I need to focus a bit more. So I'm going to do a bit of shooting now with the bamboo arrows that I have. They're a bit shorter, so I want to see whether that kind of interferes with the lower anchor. So I just need to be careful not to take them off the bow. So here we go. So this bow, I mean, 40 pounds, 60 whatever, 50, 60 pounds at full draw is okay. I can shoot this all day and then some. You know, and if I had to shoot this bow for the rest of my life, this poundage, you know, it's easy. It's not a bother. But I've set myself this task, this goal to go high poundage and well, and that's what I'm doing for this year. I might change my mind at some point. Oh, they're all gone. Yeah, there's another one. Oh, where's the rest of them? There's another one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought I had 6 of them. Another one here. And another one there, so yeah. Okay. I think I've got too many red and white fletch, and it makes things difficult to find. I'm still not aiming as such. I'm looking at the target, and then I'm trying to get a feel for where I am. I'm not looking through the bow. That went a bit off. But when I'm looking, and I try not to, but when I'm shooting, I'm actually in this kind of the bow's kind of here, so I'm looking straight ahead, and the bow is to my right. It's canted, it's low, so it's completely out of the frame of where I'm looking at. So it's very difficult to get a sense of, you know, aiming with this kind of bow, because there's nothing to align. You're not like sort of, you know, aligning the string to the arrow to the point. Everything is kind of off. And when I'm going down, it just means that there's like there's nothing there. I might as well be shooting blind. Yeah, a bit of contact there. But that's the other thing. I'm finding it a bit tricky to align. So I'm finding my hand's trying to keep my hand further back. That's the bamboo. Let's try my my micro arrows. 300 spine, 32 inch, 100 grain points, I think. 4.2 internal, 4.2 millimeter internal diameter. So they're quick and snappy. That one went a bit high, and that's the I'm going to have to go through a whole new process of embedding and guessing where my arrows are going to go from shooting this way. Am I getting a benefit at this poundage? Probably not. Probably the reverse. But with higher poundage, I think probably better. So thank you for watching. See you next week.